in liberating strife. Who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, make God thy gold refined, till all success be nobleness, and ever again divine. And you know, when I was in school, we used to sing it something like this. Listen here.
I'm Michelle Scalise Sugiyama. I'm in the anthropology department at the University of Oregon, and I study human evolution, but specifically I study the evolution of aesthetic behavior and symbolic behavior. So I'm really interested in things like storytelling and play and art and music, and the role that these behaviors have played in our evolution.
Why?
Well, from an evolutionary perspective, play is believed to develop skills or knowledge sets that the animal will need later in its lifespan. There's a lot of different types of play behaviors that humans and other animals engage in. So play fighting would be an example. A lot of animals play wrestle, or they tussle with each other, and in ways that are very similar to the way the animal fights when it actually has to fight. And so the idea is that this rough and tumble play wrestling, play fighting, develop skills that the animals will need later in life when it's fighting other members of its species, maybe in competition for mates or competitions to be the dominant animal in the group. Other forms of play behavior develop other skills. So for example, a common behavior in both hunter-gatherer societies and modern human societies is the role-playing game of playing house, where children imitate the activities that they see their parents engaging in or other adults. And so in doing this, they're learning the gender roles and the gender norms of their society. Our ancestors were vulnerable to predators. There are all sorts of nasty things out there in the world that could eat them. And so chase play is hypothesized to develop skills that are needed in predator evasion, in running away from a predator. It develops things like speed and stamina and your ability to dodge, when an animal tries to grab you. So that's another play activity that develops another skill. And there's just many, many different types of play, and they all seem to develop a different type of skill that the animal needs. Well, whenever you see something that humans care a lot about, or they have a very strong emotional response to it, so in the case of play, it would be pleasure or entertainment or fun, right? We find these activities, they're very appealing to us. That's a sign that there's an adaptation at play there. In other words, it begs the question, why are we so motivated to engage in this activity? So this fits very neatly with the hypothesis that play develops skills or enables the animal to acquire knowledge that it's going to need later in its lifespan, because in order to acquire those skills, you need to be motivated to engage in the activity that's going to develop that skill. That's probably why we feel such a powerful attraction to these sorts of activities. These feelings of pleasure, entertainment, excitement, fun, they motivate us to engage in that activity, which is going to develop skills that are going to be very important to us later in life. Some people argue that storytelling is a form of play. We learn things from storytelling. It's basically a way of simulating human experience. It's like virtual reality. And so you can have vicarious experiences by participating in story worlds, by immersing yourself in a story world. Role-playing games, a lot of role-playing games have a narrative structure, and so it may be the main difference between listening to a story or watching a story, reading a story, and participating in a role-playing game is that you kind of become the character. And so you're participating in the story. And so instead of learning by passively watching the characters, you may be learning by becoming the character and taking on that character's problems and tasks. So it's I guess a more direct way of learning through storytelling, more like personal experience.